Hello everyone, I Professor Bhavik Kumar M. Kataria welcomes you into the video series of computer networks. So friends, we are discussing unit number 1, introduction, and that is the last session of unit number 1. Till today, we have discussed understanding of network and internet, network edge, network core, understanding of delay, loss and throughput in packet switch network, and today we are going to discuss protocol layers and their service model. So guys, in terms of understanding of network and internet, we have discussed what is internet, what is network, what is computer, and then we define the term computer network. Then after we gone through the network edge and network core. So in terms of network edge is a boundary of a network. There is no further network after completion of network edge, and network core is known as a central part of computer network. So in these topics, we have discussed several networking devices like computer system as an end system, smartphones, laptops, tablets, etc. All this thing is known as a end systems of computer network, and these are located at edge of computer network. Another thing, networking devices like switch, hub, router, bridge, gateway, these are the devices are used to expand the network. So these type of devices are located into the central part of network, known as a network core. Even sometimes some of the cables like twisted pair, coaxial, fiber optics, these cables are known as a network core. So in this topic, we have categorized the network into three parts: LAN, MAN, and WAN, local area network, metropolitan area network, and wide area network. We have also discussed communication modes like half duplex and full duplex mode. Get it? So that due to the mode, we can decide how communication is going to be take place. It would be a one-way communication, or it would be a two-way communication, etc. Then after we have discussed transmission media. In terms of transmission media, we have discussed two types: guided transmission media and unguided transmission media. In case of guided transmission media, we have discussed twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, fiber optics. These are the examples of guided media. Guided media is also known as a wired network. Another thing we have discussed about unguided media. So that is radio waves, microwaves, infrared, Bluetooth. These are the examples of unguided media, or it is also known as a wireless communications. We have also discussed types of antenna like disk antenna, horn antenna. These are the types of antennas, how communications is going to be take place through the antennas, like transmission and receiving process of data or information. Then we move towards the switching techniques. In that case, we have discussed circuit switching, message switching, packet switching. In terms of circuit switching, these are the cases like circuit establishment, data transfer, circuit disconnection. In terms of message switching, we have used the storage devices at every node. There is need to store and forward the data in terms of message switching. In terms of packet switching, we have discussed two things. One was virtual circuit network, and another one was a datagram network. So virtual circuit is working loop like a circuit switching, and datagram is working loop like a message switching. By discussing the packet switching, we will go inside the packet switching in deep, and we have understanding of delay. We have discussed several types of delays like transmission delay, propagation delay, queuing delay, processing delay. These are the various types of delay. Out of these four types of delay, whenever we are going to calculate total nodal delay, so we are considering transmission delay and propagation delay only. We have defined the equation. There is a total nodal delay is equal to transmission delay plus 2 into propagation delay. We are considering propagation delay twice. Why? Because data is traveling from sender to receiver side, and acknowledgement signal or a reply is traveling from receiver to sender side. So we are calculating propagation delay twice into the calculation of nodal delay. Then after we have discussed loss in packet switch network like data loss, signal loss, acknowledgement loss, delayed ACK, get it? So we have implemented some of the techniques like sequence number, then after timeout, timer, sequence number for data and acknowledgement signal both, get it? Then after we define the throughput, equation of throughput, we have also calculated some examples of delay loss and throughput. So this type of examples can be asked into the examination, get it? And now our next topic is protocols, layers and their service model. So let's start today's session, that is our lecture number 5, layered architecture. So in this case, we are going to discuss today OSI reference model. There are totally 2 reference models are there. One is OSI reference model and another one is a TCP/IP protocol layer architecture or a TCP/IP protocol suite. Today we will discuss about the OSI reference model. So let's see, it is proposed by the International Standards Organizations, ISO. That is one standard organizations. We have discussed a few standard organizations into our earlier session, lecture number 1 and 2. So hope you now very well aware with the standard organizations, how this type of standard organizations are working. OSI is stand for the Open System Interconnection Reference Model. And in this OSI model, each layer is supposed to handle message or data from the layer which are immediately above or below it. It means every layer are connected with the below layer and upper layer. So whenever data is going to be transmitted, so it is traveled through the different layers, and we will also look which are the responsibility of each and every layer and how these layers are working inside the OSI reference model. So as we have discussed, OSI stands for the Open Systems Interconnections. Purpose of each layer is to offer certain services to the higher layers. It means whatever the lower layers are there, they are providing services to the upper layers. Look like in terms of like suppose you are going to the bank. So there is one guard security at a doorstep of bank. Then you will go for the receptions. After receptions, there is like clerks. Above the clerks, there are the officers. Above the officers, there is a bank manager. So these are the layer of services. Same thing is here in terms of OSI reference model. Each and layer have particular responsibilities. Same thing, like you are studying into the college or school. So there are the layers. Suppose you are studying into the college. So there is your subject in charge, whatever subject in charge is there, they are responsible to teach a particular subject to you. Whenever you will go to the laboratory, so there is a laboratory in charge, which one is responsible toward the practicals and experiment to you. Then after head of the departments, they are maintaining the entire department. If anyone have a query regarding to the department or whatever the task or operations are going to be take place, they are looking for the smooth services. After the head of departments, there are the principals, directors, managements. So these are the layers, and all layers are working at a particular service. So same thing in case of OSI reference model and TCP/IP reference model, there are the several number of layers, and all layers are responsible for the particular services. A layer only has knowledge of its neighbor layers only. Whenever you are dealing with any layer, so that layer is aware with the lower layer and higher level only, because interconnections are with the upper side and lower side. A layer service is independent of the implementation. It means all of the services are independent and particular to the respected dedicated layer only. Suppose someone is teaching you the computer network. So whenever you have any doubts regarding to the computer network, so you have to go to the subject in charge of computer network. Suppose you will go to the subject in charge of database. So that person cannot solve out your query regarding to the computer network. Get it? So that is the fundamental. Every layer are independent from other layers, and they are responsible for the particular separate specific services. So let's see which are the layers in OSI model. So if you will look here from the first layer, that is the physical layer, second one data link layer, third one network layer, fourth one transport layer, fifth one session layer, sixth one presentation layer, and seventh one that is application layer. So let's see whenever we are discussing, so we will discuss from the bottom to top, but general trends actually the implementation is top to bottom. Let's see why there is a top to bottom. Because whenever people are communicating, so people are communicating with the application layer. Get it? So here that is a user 1. Actually this host A is connected with the application layer, and that is host B is connected with the here into the application layer. Get it? That is a host A side, and this side is a host B side, but actually host is connected with the application layer. Now if you have queries in your mind how host is going to be connected with the application layer, not with the physical layer. So let's take one example. Suppose you are messaging to someone through the WhatsApp. So you are using WhatsApp in your smartphone. So WhatsApp is a one type of application. Get it? Whatever operating system you are using, it should be Android or iOS or any other. Get it? Same thing. Suppose you are sending a mail to someone. So email is a one type of application. Whatever you are running with computer systems or tablets or from your mobile phone. Get it? Suppose you are using Yahoo Mail. So Yahoo Mail is a one type of application for doing email. Same thing you are using Gmail. So Gmail is a one application for sending a mail. So always host for a user is going to be connected with the application layers. So these application layers are stand to provide the services to the user. Suppose if here sender is connected here and receiver is connected here into the second side. So here there is a, imagine here there is one sender and here one receiver. So how intercommunication will take place? Sender will send the data to application layer will forward it to the presentation, then session, transport, network, data link, and physical. Now there is a point-to-point link between these two physical layers. Here there is a transmission media, whatever we have discussed till today, guided media and unguided media. So data will travel from this physical layer to this physical layer through the transmission media. It should be wired or a wireless. If there is a wire, so it should be a coaxial cable or twisted pair cable or fiber optics. If it should be a wireless, so there is maybe a radio waves, microwaves, infrared, anything. Get it? So then again from the host side, there is a physical layer will send the data to data link, then it will send to the network, then network layer will send to the transport layer, then session, presentation, and again will reach to the applications layers. Get it? So let's understand this thing with one example of flight simulator. Suppose you are traveling into the flight. So whenever you will start your journey, so first you will reach at the airport, then you will make your passport or any travel tickets to the reception. Whenever you will get the boarding pass, so you will go with your boarding pass, and after getting the boarding pass, you will put your luggage into the luggage department. Get it? And after getting the boarding pass, you will go to the doorstep of platform, and from the platform you will reach to the flight. So there is a process of sending side. Whenever flight will fly into the sky and reach to the destination after takeoff, whenever flight will reach at a flight will make a landing at a destination place. So whatever the process you have done at a sending side or your source side, so same process will go into the reverse direction. Like you will come outside the flight, you will collect your luggage, you will thrown out your boarding pass, and again you will come outside from the airport and you will reach at your home. So whatever the process occur into the source part, that process will again take place at a receiver's end into the reverse direction. So same here, in terms of people are dealing with the applications layer, and application layer will forward the data to the presentation layer into the presentation data unit. Get it? Then presentation layer will forward the data to the session layer. Session layer will forward the data to the transport layer into the transport layer data unit. There is a use of TCP, transmission control protocol, or there is a use of UDP, user datagram protocol. Again, the data will forward to the network layer in terms of packets. Network layer will forward the data to the data link layer, and it will convert, data link layer will convert number of packets into the number of frames. Data link layer will forward the data to the physical layer. Physical layer will convert that frame into the individual number of bits, and these individual bits are traveling from the transmission media. And same thing, after reaching the destination side, physical layer will send the individual bits to the data link layer. Data link layer will make a frame of individual bits, and it will forward to the network layer. Network layer will make a packet of that particular frames and forward to the transport layer. In transport layer, protocol data unit, and transport layer will forward to the session layer. Session layer will forward into the session layer protocol data unit and forward to the presentation layer. Same thing again, receiver will receive that data from the application layer. So that is the dealing how communication is going to be take place through the OSI model. So let's see in all of the details one by one each layer. So these are the first, that is a physical layer. In this case, there is a number of data is available into the individual bits like zeros and ones, and physical layer is transmitting the data into the transmission medium, and whatever it should be guided or unguided, it will forward the data to the destination side, and again physical layer will receive the data into the individual bits, and it will convert into the frames, right, and forward it to the data link layer. Same thing, physical layer, the source side, physical layer will receive the data from data link layer, and at the destination side, physical layer will forward the data towards the data link layer. Get it? So let's see what are the responsibilities of physical layer. So physical layer is responsible for the hardware specifications, like they are sending data into the guided media. So there is a cables, connectors. If unguided media, so it should be radio waves, microwaves, anything. So physical layer is responsible to choose the medium for communications. Either it should be a guided or unguided. If it should be a guided, so whatever the cables are there, what are the specifications required? If we are using the fiber optic, so which categories of fiber optic cable is required? Suppose we are using twisted pair, so which category twisted pair cable required? It should be shielded twisted pair, or it should be a unshielded twisted pair. So this type of responsibilities are carried out by the physical layer. Next thing, that is encoding and signaling. These are the responsible for the bit representations. Whenever we are sending the data in terms of individual bits like zeros and ones, so it will require the encoding and signaling. Due to the reason of privacies and securities, we are making the encoding as well as encryption, as well as decoding or decryption. What is the need of encoding? Encoding put the data into the carrier signals, because signals are working as a carrier. Suppose you are sending a courier or a luggage to someone, so there is a vehicles which are carry your courier or a luggage. it should be a truck or train. So these are the carriers. Same thing, signals are working as a carrier for the data. So we are putting our data or information on carrier signal. So that's why there is an encoding and signaling is required. Another thing, data transmission and reception, like half duplex or full duplex. Again, whatever the communications is going to be take place, so that communications would be half duplex or full duplex, like one-way communication, two-way communication. This type of selection is going to be handled by the physical layer. Another thing, there is topology of network, like which topology is going to be used by the network. It should be mesh, ring, bus, star, hybrid. These are the various examples of different topologies. Topology is a geographic representation of network, and mostly these are the examples of local area network topologies, whatever we have discussed till today, bus, ring, star, mesh. So these are the topologies are used for the LAN networks. Another thing, protocol data unit, PDU bit. This unit is made from the bit. It means data is going to be traveled as an individual bit, not into the frame, not into the packet. Data will travel into the individual bit from the physical layer. So these are the all about physical layer. Next, second layer, that is data link layer. Another thing, that is data link layer. So in terms of data link layer, these are the responsibilities of data link layer, like framing, physical addressing, flow control, error control. So this thing is carried out by the data link layer. So let's see one by one what is framing. So whatever the data link layer is receiving from the physical layer, so data link layer receiving the individual bits from the physical layer. So data link layer will convert these individual bits into the number of frames. So data link layer will collect the stream of individual bits and converted it into the single frame. Same thing, whenever data link layer is dealing with the network layer, so data link layer is receiving the data from network layer. So network layer is sending the data into the data packets. Get it? So data link layer will receive the data packets from network layer and converted it into the individual frames. Get it? So framing is a characteristics which is carried out by the data link layer. Another thing, that is physical addressing. Data link layer will add the header to the frame to define the physical address of sender and receiver. Like whenever you are writing a letter to someone, so you are writing first address of receiver. Whom you are writing, you will write the name, society, area, city name, pin code number, any famous place which is nearby to identify the location. So these are the all about destination address. Again, at a back side or at a corner you are writing your address. Suppose letter is not able to deliver at that place, so letter will come back again into the reverse directions, and courier boy or a postman will give return to you, this thing is not able to deliver. So that's why sender address and receiver address is required. Same thing in case of communications, there is a header which is carrying the sender party address as well as receiver party address. So there is need to add a header on individual bits, and we can make a frame by adding a header. So this type of physical addressing is a responsibility of data link layer. Then there is a flow control. So in terms of flow control, it will provide the mechanism to avoid faster transmitter from overrunning a slow receiver. What's happened? Suppose sender is faster and receiver is slow. So sender will send more and more data, but receiver is not able to receive the data with the more capacity. So generally we are maintaining the queue at a receiver end in terms of whenever we have discussed the types of delay. Whenever we have discussed the types of delay, so at that time we have discussed various types of delays. In terms of one delay was queuing delay. So we are maintaining the queue at receiver end to hold the data whenever sender is fast. But whenever sender is too fast, so sometimes queue is overflow and data is going to be lost. Get it? Like whenever you are using any type of suppose you are using internet with the 10 Mbps. So if sender is sending the internet speed with the 10 Mbps, and suppose you are using 2 Mbps only, your usage is too slow, so remaining 8 Mbps is going to be not useful. Get it? Same thing, whenever you want to access the 10 Mbps speed and you are getting 2 Mbps only, so it means 2 Mbps is a slower speed, but you have a work of 10 Mbps, so you are require 8 Mbps more. Get it? So this thing is look like a sender and receiver. Suppose sender is sending the data with the 10 Mbps and receiver is receiving only with the 2 Mbps. So there is a lot of data is going to be stored inside the queue, and after a few microseconds or milliseconds, queue is going to be overflown, remaining data is going to be lost. So there is need to control this situation by using flow control. Another thing, error control. Suppose any data is going to be corrupted, any packet is going to be corrupted, so again there is need to send a particular data. Suppose you are sending any luggage and you are sending whenever you are selling anything to your clients, suppose you are selling 10 units to your clients, and during the journey suppose one unit is broken down, so only 9 units reach it safely. So what client will demand one more unit from you, so there is need to send one more unit from your side. Okay. So same thing in here, if there is any type of error, so there is need to tackle the error, there is need to solve out that particular error. So if there is any data or any information is going to be corrupted, so there is need to retransmit again this type of data. This thing is known as a error control, that is carried out by the data link layer. If you will look about the data link layer, so there is mainly two parts. One is LLC and second one is MSC. LLC stands for the logical link control and MSC stands for the media access control. So LLC work for the establishment and control of logical links, whereas MSC is work as a producer used by devices to control access of network or a medium. Like somewhere there is need to check the channel, like channel is free or not. It is known as a sensing the channel. So this type of controlling mechanism is required into the media. So there is two separate part. One is LLC and MSC. Both work are divided. So they are both. This thing is responsible for specific task or a specific control. Next, third layer, that is a network layer. So let's see what are the key points of network layer, or what are the responsibilities of network layer. So first there is a logical addressing. We have already discussed the physical addressing into the physical layer. Now if we will look about the logical address, so that is the responsibility of a network layer. Another thing, that is routing. Whenever we are implementing or putting the routers in between the network, so every router have a routing tables, and that particular router will take the decision about the next node from the routing tables. Routing tables have information regarding to nearest node and distance of nearest node. Like whenever we are traveling any unknown place, so we are searching the route into the Google Maps, or we are asking to someone where this thing is located. So same thing is here, whenever data is traveling inside the network, so due to the destination address, router will take the decisions on which directions router have to send that particular data or packets. Next thing, that is traffic control. If there is a traffic, like whenever we are traveling with our vehicles on road, so maybe somewhere there is a traffic, and due to traffic we have to stay in waiting for the long period of time if there is a traffic jam. So same thing in here, if there is a, in terms of computer network, whenever channel is more busy, more people are communicating with each other, so there is somewhere there is a traffic, and people have to wait to send the data or for the communications. Like whenever we are calling to someone, so somewhere we are getting the tones like currently channel is busy, So whenever many people are communicating with each other, so somewhere due to the traffics we are getting the busy channel and we are not able to start our own communications with our receiver party. So this type of traffic controlling is handled by the network layer. Error handling and diagnostic using status message, for example, like in terms of any types of errors in data packets or into the data units. So that thing is going to be handled by the network layer. Diagnosis, it means there is analysis of message like which bit is responsible for which thing, like if there is a flag, so what is the working of flag registers. So this type of functionalities is carried out by the network layer, and network layer will use the data unit as a packet. Physical layer was use the data unit as a bit, data link layer was use the unit as a frame, and network layer is using the data unit as a packet. It means network layer is putting the data inside the packets. So guys, if you have any questions or any query regarding today's video session, so you can make your comments into the comment box. I will try my best to handle your queries. Whatever you are looking, that is the snowfall at Leh Ladakh. So hope you enjoy this snowfall. So these are the area located into the Leh and Ladakh. Now next layer, that is the transport layer. So let's see which are the responsibilities of transport layer. So tracking the individual communication between applications on the source and destination host. Look like whatever the facilities you are getting from the transporter, whenever you are sending your luggage through any transporter, whenever you are sending a courier through the courier service party. So same thing is here. There is a responsibility of transport layer is to forward the data from source side to destination side. So for this thing, the transport layer is responsible. Another thing, that is reassembling and the segments into streams of application data. Suppose if any data packet is going to be broken out, or there is need to reassemble that particular segments. Transport layer is sending the data into the segments. That is a transport layer protocol data unit is segment, whereas network layer is used the data unit as a packet. So transport layer is sending the data into the segments. So transport layer will collect the number of packets and make one segment, and this type of individual segments is going to be forwarded by the transport layer. Another thing, identifying the different applications. So due to the responsibility of sending the data from source side to destination side, there is a requirement of the finding the different applications, like which are the responsible to carry the data or to transport the data. Another thing, that is about the flow control, wherever we have discussed like sender is too fast and receiver is too slow, so there is need to make a flow control. Like whenever we are traveling, so whenever we will reach at a toll booth, so there is a very long queue at toll booth because vehicles are too fast, whereas collections of booth is this procedure is slow down. So there is a possibility to chances about the traffic jam. Get it? So this type of flow control is required into the data communications also, whenever sender is faster and receiver is slower. Next layer, that is a session layer. In terms of session layer, functions of session layers like create and maintain dialogues between source and destination applications. Another thing, session establishment and maintenance and terminations. So why there is a need to create a session, maintain a session, or terminate the session? Because there is a requirement of session support like security, name recognition, and logging. Suppose you are transferring some amount from your account to your friend's account. So whenever you will log in your internet banking account, so if you are too slow, then you will waste a long period of time to make the transfer. So somewhere session is going to be expired and they are asking to re-log in whenever you want to transfer the amount. So that is for the security reason. It means there is a one timeout timer. Suppose you are not able to transfer the amount within a time limit, so session will go to expire and terminate. So there is need to again log in from your side. That is for the security purpose. So this thing is known as a session control. Again, whenever you want to log in, so there is need to re-establish the session again. It means creating a new session is required. Get it? Maintenance of session required, like a high speed of internet. Whenever you are transferring the money, suppose connectivity of internet is going to be lost, so somewhere the amount is deducted from your account and not deposited into your friend account. Get it? So that is a session breakdown. Somewhere you are calling to someone, so whenever you are talking to someone, so your call is going to be cut out, so it means your session is expired. Get it? So these are the responsibilities of session layer. Next, that is the presentation layer. So presentation layer is so in this case, this layer is responsible for the syntax and semantics of the information exchange between two communication system. It means that is the work about the protocol, how data is going to be communicate, or what are the rules for communicating the data. So these are the responsibility of presentation layer. Again, there is a compression of data. If your data is very much larger, so we are just making a RAR file and then after we are attaching that file into the mail. So this thing is known as a compression. We are compressing the data and then after we are forwarded. Whenever receiver will receive this RAR file, so receiver will unzip that RAR file and receive the original message. Next thing, that is encryption and decryption. So that is for the security purpose. Whenever we will encrypt our message, so no one other party will able to read the message because we have put one encryption key on that data. Suppose I am sending one message to you with the encryption. So in between the channel, no one can interpret this message and no one can read this message. Only destination party or a receiver party will decrypt the message because only receiver party have a decryption key. So I will send both these things separately. In one message I will send the data and in another message I will send the encryption key. So that is for the security reasons. So this type of encryption and decryption is the responsibility of the transport layer. Another thing, there is a translation, like whenever converting data from one form to another form. So this type of translations are carried out by the presentation layer, because whenever we are sending the data, so we have to follow the rules and guidelines. So somewhere there is a requirement of translation of data due to the particular formats or due to the some rules of computer networks. So these are the responsibility of presentation layer. Next layer, that is application layer. In terms of application layer, it is the topmost layer of OSI model and users are directly connected with this layer. So whatever the applications you are using, like you are using email, you are using video calling, you are using text messaging, you are using multimedia message. So these all facilities are going to be provided by the applications layer. It means each and every service is used by the users. So for this type of services, only application layer is responsible. It means users are directly connected with the application layer and can access the number of different services of computer network through the application layer. So application layer is always for the directly services to the any host or any users. So this thing is all about OSI reference model. And if you will look about the examples of services, so there is a remote file access, inter-process communication, directory services, electronic messaging like email, network virtual terminals. So these are the examples of various applications. These are the few examples only. There are many applications are there that user are accessing for the application layer. And in our next session, we will start unit number 2, application layer. Before starting the unit number 2, I want to say that one topic is remain, that is TCP/IP model. So it is working same look like OSI model. So there is just variation into the number of layers. Get it? So just refer the TCP/IP model also, and that is a homework for you. You have to read the TCP/IP model, and then you have to compare the TCP/IP model with the OSI reference model. That is your homework. Get it? So whenever you are comparing OSI model and TCP/IP model, so you have to take the various parameters, and by taking these parameters, you have to compare both the models with each other. Another thing, there is a history of computer network. So that is totally theoretical concept about the computer networks. So you have to read this entire history, and you have to make notes of history of computer network. You have to go with the case study related to history of computer network. So that is the second homework for you. One is for the comparison of OSI model and TCP/IP model, and second one is a case study on history of computer network. So in our next session, we will start application layer. In this unit, we will discuss principle of computer applications, web, it means www, World Wide Web, HTTP stands for the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, emails, then after DNS, domain name services. So we will discuss this kind of topics into our second unit. So stay connected with us. Thank you very much.